Hey everyone, it's Christos here, aka The Fred, and say hello to my little friend. This is Hypno Hustler, man. He's just like got the grooves, got the moves, he's got it, man. And he's, I think he's an arch enemy of Spider-Man. Probably Spider-Man listens to pop music and doesn't listen to really good rock music. But he's psychedelic, he's funkadelic, and he's got the disco balls to do that. Gotta be careful how I say that. So yeah, I'm going to put him down because he's going to travel in the time machine with Michael J. Fox in the DeLorean, and they're going to come back to the 80s, or they're going to go back to the 80s. All right. Now, before I get started on this video, please hit like, subscribe. I'm infrequently putting out videos between family, work, and saving the planets between the evils of Phineas, or from the evils of Phineas. But yeah, hit like, subscribe. Leave comments. I'm keen to hear your thoughts and experiences, especially with this product if you own it or if you're looking to buy it, or even any feedback that you want to give me. I want to make sure that I'm putting out good material, quality material that you people like. And if you want to disagree with me or disagree with anyone, please, love, kindness, respect. We all deserve that. We all deserve that as a basic human right. So, ladies and germs, today I'm going to be reviewing the Fender Player 2 Series precision bass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into about 4 parts. So I'm going to go over the specs in part 1. Part 2 is a few things that I've noticed about this particular series and this particular bass. Part 3 I'm going to do some sound samples, and then part 4 I'll talk about some possible modifications. So part 1, let's talk about specs. Ladies and germs, it is a P bass. It is a P bass. You cannot get more classic design, a perfect design than the precision bass. Leo Fender, an accountant, he got it right. One of the few times that accountants and music and rock music blended perfectly. So this is the latest series of the Player series in the Fender lineup, especially for basses. So you've got, the species of wood is made out of alder, which is a medium density hardwood. So it's characterized with a more sort of warmer sound, as opposed to, let's say, basswood, which is a softer hardwood. It's renowned for, really renowned for bringing out more of the mids, whilst this is more of a vintage, warmer type of sound. You've got your bent steel bridge, you've got your 4 bridge saddles. There's only 1 slot in each bridge saddle. The bridge saddles are 8mm wide. So with the 1 slot, it's not like you can move it as opposed to some of the other vintage basses where they've got multiple slots, so you can narrow and widen the string space. You've got the traditional split coil pickup, and I actually ran my multimeter and measured the DC resistance. So I got 10.6, which is pretty warm, pretty hot. When you think single Duncan quarter pounders usually rate anywhere between about 11 point something to about sort of high 12s, low 13s. So this is they're pretty warm pickups. You've got your volume, tone, your input jack. You've got a 3-layered pickguard, which is white, black, white. It's a 13-hole pickguard, folks, 13 holes. On the back, you've got the steel neck plate with a nice Fender engraved logo on the back of it. So it makes it look really, really classy. You've got your standard strap holders, and there's like a little padded felt underneath, so that way it prevents the strap holder digging into the body and causing any dents and chips over time. You've got a modern C neck. You've got 20 medium jumbo fretboards with black dot markers, and here on the front of the neck, it's all glossed up with what I call a varnish, a lacquered finish. So you can probably see that it's sort of bright. It reflects in the camera light. I don't know if you can see that. Then you've got your standard tuners and standard string tree. You've got an acrylic nut here, so it's not a bone nut, or it's not a tusk nut. You've got your standard open gear tuners, which have been around on these models. These particular models have been around on the Player series or the Standard series, the Mexican Standard series when they first came out. Since forever and a day, and they work well. So that's pretty. And you've got your Fender logo here, the sort of that spaghetti noodle design, and on the back of the neck you've got a really nice skunk stripe. So that's pretty much the specs. Weight-wise, I haven't weighed it, but it's not light, but it's not heavy, as opposed to my Fender Hybrid 2 precision bass. That is heavy. This one I'd probably say is about a little bit more than 4 kilos, but don't hold me to it. So that's part one. Part two, let me talk about some of the things that I noticed about this bass. With the Player 2 series, Fender have introduced rolled fret edges, and it makes the fretboard feel so nice and smooth in comparison. It really makes it nice. And they've also rolled off the frets, which I must say, this feels really, it feels like a premium quality instrument. I remember about 5.5 years ago when I posted my first video reviewing the Player series, where I had a P bass then. They didn't have that. The roll fret edges weren't done by Fender then, so the edge of the fretboard felt really sharp, and then the frets felt razor sharp. So it wasn't the most comfortable instrument to play, but now when I feel this, it's really, really nice. One of the other things I noticed is that on the 8th fret, there's just a little blob of the varnish that they've put on here. So one thing you need to be mindful of is, it seems as though they've probably applied the varnish finish, as I call it, after they've applied the frets. But at least on the top, so I can't really see any of that material on the top of the frets, but it's just to the side of the fret. It's sort of coming up a bit, but I guess with a bit of scratching as I'm doing now, it's getting rid of it, or a bit of bending with the string. It's not going to impede on your playing. I should have also mentioned that the color options with these are your usual ones, but they've also introduced a few ones. Like the usual is your 3 color sunburst, your white, your black, but the new colors that they've introduced is this one, the high layer yellow, which is sort of not like as bright as the buttercream that was available in the Play series. They've also Fender's introduced the aquatone blue, the birch, which is like a light green or very light olive oil color, if you want to call it that. And depending on which finish you get, also depends whether you get the maple fretboard or the rosewood fretboard, or both in some options. Now, so that's one of the things I noticed. So just be mindful that if you do get one with the maple fretboard, just mindful that you don't get any blotches on the frets. So let's do a bit of sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of play around with so this is part 3. I'll be playing just some, playing Kisses Sure Know Something, because I just love that bass line. And I'll be adjusting the volume and the tone, so that way it gives you an understanding. So this is with the volume and tone all the way up, and I'm playing through my Warwick Gnome iPro 2 300 watt head, going into a Warwick Gnome Pro Cab 300 watt 4 ohm cab. So here we go. So let me just roll back the tone to halfway, and this is what it sounds like. And now this is with the tone all the way off. So yeah, and one thing I should also add that you may want to be mindful of is, straight from the factory, the action is a little bit high on this one, which I would anticipate, and also it probably needs a little bit more straightening of the neck, but nothing that a good truss rod adjustment won't fix. Now, in terms of upgrades, I've got to admit on this one, so this is part 4 now. In terms of upgrades, I'm probably not going to do much to it. Probably the most thing in terms of affecting the tone is I'm likely to change these 8mm bridge saddles to a set of Goto S201s that I've got that are 10mm, that are slightly thicker and more bulkier, which I think they complement this bridge really nicely, and it just looks really, really nice. And it also adds more tone, I find, without going to the other end of the spectrum and buying yourself a high mass bridge, whether it's a Fender, a Leo Kwang Kick-Ass, or a Hipshot, Leo Kwang Badass or Hipshot Kick-Ass bridge. So yeah, I think it's, that's probably the main change that I'm going to do that would likely affect the tone. I'm probably going to change these knurled or these tone and volume knobs. I've got some other ones that I bought from Amazon. I'm likely going to put a plastic neck plate cushion that sits between the body and the steel neck plate, just to prevent the actual neck plate from indenting into the wood. Plus it looks nice. I think it looks classy. But overall, I'm very, very satisfied with this bass. It plays really nice. I've still to set it up to really understand its full potential. But I will say to Fender, I know that you're offering it, I'm almost certain, in the modified series, but I would gladly pay an extra $30, $40 if Fender would put a tusk nut on here. It makes a difference. I've seen videos on YouTube and heard the difference in tonality between a normal acrylic nut as opposed to a bow nut or a tusk nut. It makes a difference. So with that, again, I think it's a lovely bass. It looks really nice. I like the color, and this is one of those basses that you can take to a gig and not be too concerned about it. Let's say if you had an American Professional or a Warwick, one of those made in Germany, or a custom shop Fender or a made in Japan model. This is something that, for the premium, you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck. So with that said, again, please like, subscribe, leave comments, and if you want to agree or disagree with me, please do so, or anyone else who writes comments, please do so with love, respect and dignity, and give me your feedback. I'm keen to know what you think. All right, keep safe, stay positive, and most of all, keep rocking. God bless you all.